What is up, fellow thrill seekers? It is the Fear Hunter here, and I am back for some more Surv action. As you can see, it has been updated to version 0.8. Now, here's a little treat for you guys. I actually have a guest with me, the creator himself and one of my personal friends, Robert Nemet.
Hello everybody, how's it going?
So, the reason why he's with me today is he's going to pretty much, what you could say, fill in all the spaces, everything that you might want to know about the game that I didn't really explain too well in the previous video. So, mainly, yeah. So I've got him here today, and he's going to, I don't know how to put it, but I don't quite have the phrase with me at the moment. It's just sort of floating on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't quite think of it. But basically, he's just going to explain things for us, and I'm going to answer some, or ask some questions that could be obvious for you guys that you'd want to ask him. So I'm going to have all the basic questions right here. He's going to answer it for us, and pretty much, yeah. And I've got the gameplay going here. I'm actually playing it right now, so all good. Anyway,
to make this short, this is kind of an interview.
In a way, yeah.
Well, similar. So this is. I have the guide open. I have Unity and guide open.
One of the first things I'm gonna say, I may as well go. What are the differences between this version and? Whoa, okay. Sorry, I got it. Okay.
What'd you do?
Flash.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna change my first question. What was the flash for? Why did you think to put the flash in there?
Well, technically, the reason the flash is there to indicate that the game actually starts from that point on, because you hear the background music right there. That noise practically gives you locks your life away. Because if you look back after the flash, the portal disappears. So does the pole where you had at the start. That technically means that means that you're basically beginning. That's where it all starts from.
Alrighty. So anyway, the question I was going to ask. The difference between this version and 0.7.
Well, to start off, there's quite a lot of changes here. I have a changelog as well, but I haven't loaded that up, so give me a second, because I forgot about that. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, thing is, I added a speed power up, which should be relatively easy to find. I changed the intro, as you may have seen, so for the guide, gave up some health power-ups, and modified one of the health effects that you get normally when your health goes above 100, because you can do that if you want to. I completely redone the giant, because that was giving some problems, and I fixed some mild collision bugs, you know. I sort of, increased the timer for the spawners so that for the fire orbs, because it became a bit too difficult after a while. I modified some of the sounds, as you can hear. I removed the hallucinations, which didn't even seem to work, which was odd. And if you see already, there's a flame rate counter up in the top right corner, if I'm not mistaken.
Top left, actually.
Oh, okay, I guess I mixed that up. Oh yeah, top left. I don't know why I said top right.
As you can see, we're hitting around 60 FPS.
Which is pretty good for you. I'm gaining 30 without any recordings. But yeah, I removed the jumping and the sliding because that would basically allow you to get out of the map.
Okay, there goes the big bang. That indicates the start of the next level, which is level 1.
The skulls. Pretty easy to avoid. If you stay in the edge of the map, the skulls will never get to you. That's all I'm saying. I don't think, well, I haven't tested this, but I don't think even not the screecher, but the chaser, I don't think that can reach you anyway. And of course, there's some there's a thing that would need feedback later on. Improvements on the graphics or optimization for slightly weaker computers. That's one thing that needs feedback on this one round. And there's also the movement bug, which I fixed, because apparently you go faster if you walk backwards than forward, but I fixed that, so it's not gonna work that way. Mouse sensitivity is dropped because you could easily do 360s without even trying. There's a bug that's currently unfixed, but I don't think I can do much about it. The flame rate counter is faded by any kind of screen effect. Like if you take damage, it kinda gets faded off by the screen effect. And sure, there was the name counter at the introduction, and that seems to be pretty much everything I have done in this update. Oh yeah, and the hit marks when you take damage, the flash thing. So it kinda tells you when you get damaged. That's pretty much all that's been in this update. There might have been some more stuff, but I technically don't have that written down.
Anyway, as you can see, I'm sort of steering clear from the tower, unlike the previous video. Robert here, would you mind explaining why the player should avoid going near the tower, or too close to it?
Technically, what I'm gonna say is a tower is basically a spawn point for the enemies. If you've seen the red orbs at the tower, which you did in the previous video, that's where the skulls came from. The chaser generally comes to the top of the tower, the fire orbs generally in the same spot except they have a random position spawner, which makes them a bit more different. And yeah, you get the feeling, the enemies start spawning from there.
Actually, I haven't seen any enemies yet. Kind of.
If you go too far away, then you won't see them, but it's for the best. Because if you don't have any quick encounters yet, then you should be fine.
Huh.
And if you hit, and I'm gonna give you a hint. If you hear a very low rumbling noise, that means you'll need a health power up. And there's a total of 6 on the map, and they don't respawn.
No
So make sure you use them wisely.
Alrighty then.
And excuse me, because apparently I got a message on Twitter, but okay, it's nothing important.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
a few flashes here and there, I'm not sure what that's about.
Flashes here and there, as in on the screen.
There's just some flashes in red in the distance, or red in the distance.
Oh, so you mean like the red lights in the distance?
Yeah, there you go.
I guess those would be the either the spawn points or a possible health power up. Are you looking in the general direction of the tower to
No,
stop
I'm
with?
not looking towards the tower, I'm just in the
Then
woods.
that may be then that's a possible health power up.
Oh,
Try to
I hear
pinpoint the
him.
location. The
There's
what?
a skull. He's coming from
Well.
behind. Yep, there he is. Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh,
Well,
I just
they-
got damaged.
Oops.
So be
While I'm here-
wary of that.
They do catch up to you if you're not quick enough.
Okay, so there you go. I've taken a bit of damage.
I'm gonna say that be careful when it comes to the charger, because that thing is insane.
Okay, so there. I took a bit of damage. Whew.
The red corners around the screen mean little to no damage. The veins mean moderate damage. The black and white mode and the flashes and all that mean critical damage. After which 100 or less points of HP and you're dead.
As you can
And I
see,
kinda
it's
know-
slowly fading, so there must be some
Yeah.
sort of health recovery.
Yeah, there's a health regeneration, otherwise the game would be completely unfair. Technically the health regeneration is replaced with the decay if you go into the zones, but you should only do that if you want to find a power up. The speed boost, if you remember what I told you about that, it has 2 different effects, and it's randomly generated so you never know which one can happen.
Ooh, there's a
Either
faint
give-
red glow over there.
That may be a health power up, just be safe because you don't know what it is.
Yep, there's something over there.
If you see a floating red barrel with a fire above it, that's a health power up. Now the models may look a bit sucky, but I'm working on those too. I just don't have a proper way to create power ups, and if I use particles, it kind of fades in through the foliage, which it shouldn't be happening. But that's because there are no colliders on the trees and everything,
red.
because
The chaser, I
That's a
think,
problem.
is after me.
everything red, and a
Everything
heartbeat
is
in the
red.
back.
Yep.
And then you might want to start running in one direction only, and when it starts getting close, try circling around it, don't let it get too close.
Okay, one direction. Yep, there goes the music.
That's the first indication. The music also plays if your health is too low, so don't mind that if you hear double music in one spot, because that happens as well. But yeah, that's intentional anyway.
So anyway, I'm going in the general direction. So, you mind giving the audience a few tips on how to deal with the chaser, since he's faster than you?
Basically just try and spin around him. The trick is to try to constantly take like very big and then very fast 90-degree turns into any direction. Just make sure you don't do it slowly, because that will give it ample time to catch up. Considering its speed and turning speed, it's pretty fast, as you can already tell, because I hear the noise in the background.
Yeah, I think it's
And never take, and I mean this seriously, never take U-turns. Because that basically allows you to bump straight into it.
looks like
No matter how
it
you
may have escaped it, barely.
If it disappears and everything goes back to normal, that should hopefully be the sign you ran away. But be careful, because every 45 seconds, well, yeah, give it time and it should recover.
And I'm being
Well,
chased by another one, I think I might be dead yet.
Another what?
Another chase, it's after me.
Another one.
Oh, flash.
Whoops, someone else did that.
I'm heading towards the tower, crap.
be sure you don't get between an influence zone or something like that, because that can set them off. That's a strange issue there, but as long as you don't have any enemies between influence zones and you should be fine. Because enemies spawn
pretty close to death.
Black and white?
Yeah.
Oops, that's not a good thing.
Anyway, we haven't really covered the first guy. Give us some insight. I mean, this is all in the guide. You'll be able to read it. But
oh yeah, I have it all here. So
covered. But we may as well have a touch up of the skull, the first guy.
basically, it's a slower moving target that is not really easy to dodge, but it can be outrunnable, as you can already tell. This is basically you get to meet the first boss, as the guide tells you. It moves nearly quickly as you, and almost turns with the same speed at which it moves with, which makes it not easy to dodge. But however, it's a one-hit attacker, which means if it hits you, it disappears. It has a limited lifespan of about 25 seconds, which means if you keep away from it, it will go away.
My health
and it kind of takes...
Oh, 90 degrees. 90 degrees.
Or if it gets too close to it. Go on. If it kind of bumps into your face, it kind of tries like going backwards and sprint with it. Like you keep looking at it as you move backwards in a certain direction, because that can usually avoid it from damaging you severely.
Yeah, it got me severely again. Hasn't killed me yet.
Give it time and try to keep an eye out for any kind of health power that you may see, because in black and white mode, your vision distance is increased. Sure, the environment is much more confusing this way, but I'm practically unused to that. It just takes time. And of course, what happened?
Another flash.
I'm guessing there still might be something that should be happening there. I mean, does anything get close to you at all?
I hear this little noise and then it flashes.
I'm guessing you're bumping into enemies and not even knowing, because considering you might be focusing on one enemy, you might not notice the other one.
Health is recovering.
Well, technically it could be like an issue that I'm not aware of, but I mean, when I tested it myself, I never had problems. Just be sure there's no influence zone around you, because that can set them off too. Well, if you will be in one, it will be pretty obvious, because the screen will be glitching up. Makes a loud noise as well to indicate it.
Oh, there's another flash.
I think I heard the noise for that one. And getting back to the skull, the biggest weakness of it is that it emits a loud noise. It makes them, well, you can hear them before you see them. That's one edge.
Oh, that's different.
What?
I think that's a skull.
Yes. What would that be? I'm guessing you're going for the fire orb.
Just died.
Oops.
That was weird.
I'm guessing you went for the fire orb.
Oh, that must have been the fire orb.
But do you see like a greenish or yellowish trail?
I had no clue. It just sort of went. I had the humming noise and then boom, gone.
Oh, I don't know what that was. Well, that's really weird though, cause I never had any bugs with the game itself. So basically, that you're dead. You could maybe try again, maybe sticking a bit closer to the tower, but not too close again, and continue this interview if you want to, because there's still quite some stuff that people haven't seen, but I can just, give it away for now.
Anyway, I might as well show you the tricks of the being close to the tower. So, let's get back into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Don't forget the zones themselves and the items, because I can give some... Oh, there's also something that you haven't mentioned at all. Now I notice that too.
Oh, why don't you...
The possible side objectives.
Ah, yes, I forgot about them.
Yeah, technically I just noticed that as soon as I scrolled to the bottom of the guide.
So yeah, in the guide there's a mention of objectives that could be completed while you're surviving out of this dank wilderness.
As you can call it. That's a new nickname. I guess I'm gonna name the place that next time I get to it.
Yeah, so this playthrough will involve being close to the tower, and we'll show you how much harder it could possibly get. Anyway, how about we have a...
Be sure to stay away. Just stay away from the lab bubbles.
Yeah, don't go near the bubbles.
Unless you want to get inside them and possibly risk your life with a down boost.
Flash
sure, you can try that because
soonish.
Maybe.
It
Thing
kind
is,
of
once it's-
comes unexpectedly, but you start to figure out the distance between start and.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
that's a question I could ask. How long do the players get to explore before it starts? There it goes.
Whoops. Well, basically from start to flash till the flash, there's about 75 seconds. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be at least 60 more seconds until the next one, until the first enemy starts coming up. So that basically counts up to about 135 seconds. Which means about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. What the?
Oh, hello, dog.
Excuse me about that. I'll be back in a second.
Alrighty. So, anyway, hope so far you're enjoying this little insight. Another thing that Robert mentioned is that once this, you may have heard it already in his vlog if you watched it, but once this game gets to about 1.0, that's when it'll be released publicly and all you guys will be able to play it. So, as we sort of circle the tower here, we're just waiting for the game to get started. And as you know, 45 seconds between starting the game and the flash, and then you've got a 60-second time period to familiarize yourself with your movements. And that's when the game officially starts and level 1 begins with the skulls that spawn in level 2. After another bit of time, that's when the chaser comes in. He's a pain, I'll tell you that much. Still not too good. Oh, here he is.
Thing is, I'm gonna be a bit quiet because the neighbor came over and the dog is not gonna be too silent for now, but I'm gonna stay here and listen. So I'll mute the microphone, and when you ask something, I just unmute it and answer for you.
There you go. So he's there in the background, he's just... Anyway, so we're just gonna revolve this strategy here. That's not much of a strategy, but I'm just gonna circle the tower while we wait for it to begin. There it goes. There you go, 3 orbs there. That's your spawn zones, and there's one over there too. Alrighty.
By the way, if you survive long enough, make sure you look towards the tower once, like the top part of it.
And it went red, like red portal. Last game.
Yep, that was actually the sign things were going crazy from that spot. Like that's your main indication that you're effed real hard.
Pretty much. So it's kind of easier to see from this angle because there's no grass in the way, but you're a lot closer to the spawn zone and things can be a lot harder. Alright. Okay, here's the first guy. As you can see, he spawns directly from the tower. It's a little bit faster than me. Wait for it. There it goes. Ugh. See, as you revolve around the tower, it's actually pretty difficult because they get a quick chance to catch up to you. You want to be as far away as you can.
And they're pretty close to you as well, so that gives them another edge, especially for the chase.
See, look at that. He's just coming right up on me. Too fast for you. See, there you go. Boom. Hits you again. Yeah, this little strategy is just telling you what not to do. But one skull, pretty simple. You recover not too badly. But when it gets more intense, this is something that you shouldn't do. You'll find that the chaser is quite a pain in the butt. Alright. So anyway, we'll get the hopes up. So as I said before, and as you said in the vlog if you watched it, public release will be version 1. What are we expecting to see in that version?
I was gonna say a version 0.1. Now, what would you want to see in that version? Well, technically, I can't really say much about that. One thing's for sure is a planned side mission that you can do, and more enemies, that's the thing, and also more power-ups. Because I have several more planned, but since I didn't exactly get to work around those, I did not include them in the guide yet. I'm expecting at least 13 difficulty levels on the public beta version. I was planning a total of about 37 in the original game.
Of course,
And
if you
considering
can
that-
last that long.
It's gonna turn into a copy of Super Hexagon right away.
Oh, there goes the second round.
Did the chase already come or not yet?
Just started. And here, see? Now they're starting to get more excessive. See, the skulls are just coming at you. And I'm already taking a lot of damage. See, there you go. Already huge damage.
Are you letting them damage you, or is it doing something else doing that?
I'm just showing how fast they come up to you if you just stay around here.
Well, yeah, they practically are fast. They're faster than your walking speed, but slower than your running speed. Take that into account.
Oh, I forgot about that. If you hold shift, you actually sprint.
Yep, and then before that you could jump, but I removed that because if you keep jumping, you can get to a point of the level where you just avoid every single enemy of the game and fall off the level if you're not careful. And I actually managed to slide down once the mountain, and I just did that for fun, and you don't want to know how I felt that one. Hey.
Guess
It was
see, I got
sweeping.
away from that one. Actually forgot about the sprint. Whoops.
Sprinting is vital in the game, don't forget that.
Now, I just being a bit confused about this one. Every so often there's this little chime in the background.
A little chime.
Like a bell or something. Like a bell or something.
That would be the ambient noises.
Hey.
If it comes from random directions, like if it comes
There's
directly
the
from,
chaser.
if you hear noises coming from the left or right ear, and if you turn around, and the sound doesn't seem to change, then that's an ambient sound. That's intentional. I know Slender the Alive did the same thing, and that's basically just what I did. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I heard the chase already from your side. And unless, if you want, I could talk a bit more about this guy, because they seem to be getting stuck on that one.
Hey, that's a little bit difficult.
I could try something next time we do this. I could probably try to place in a debug cheat for you to actually allow you a chance. Like, you press a button, and it raises your HP by an ungodly number, so basically, you won't die that easily.
Okay, I got away from it, but as you can see, I take a lot of damage before I can do that. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
well.
another one. Oh no, never mind.
I kind of feel like I messed something up in the script now, considering it may be spawning a bit too frequently, but I don't think that should be happening. Let me check. What the?
This is a bit of a noise messed up myself.
Yeah, that's the intentional. Well, excuse me, that's the intentional. Excuse me, that the dog is still a bit too noisy these days. Now, where's the chaser thingy? Because I actually have the game open in my Unity editor. I'm just trying to find the script. But considering how things are handled here, I can't even find it. Whoops, I hear the noise. Hold on a bit.
Oh, music stuff. That's fine. Health changed. That's right. That's second critical. There you go. There's that portal that Robert mentioned before. That I saw in the previous game.
For a second I thought you died, but apparently nope. By the way, I'm not sure. Maybe try pressing I on your keyboard. Does it do anything? You just keep pressing it multiple times.
Oh.
Does it?
Health just instantly recovered.
If you press I multiple times,
I don't know. It's gone back to normal health.
try pressing O
Oh.
continuously. Yeah.
No. Oh, there's another
Interesting.
chaser. My health recovered. so I don't
Oh, that's fine because when you confuse you because when you press I, the chaser reactivated and that resets your health to make it fair.
So
And
I
that means-
fixed your health.
Well, it normally should have been, but basically you press the button as soon as the chaser was about to spawn, so it resets your health by normal. So I don't think that thing works because you press O, it will normally damage you.
Okay.
I don't think I placed hitmarks on a chaser. What the hell? Let me check that.
That was actually some random noise that kept coming. Oh, there's a skull coming.
also maybe causing bugs here and there because the chaser does not have hit marks. Like when it damages...
No, it's actually quite weird. It comes up even without being chased. It's like this skittery noise that pops up. And it skitters for a little bit, and then the boom flash pops up.
I'm guessing that's a mix of ambient noise and something else. Maybe a bug, but I know that should be happening because... Well, the thing is, the game is a bit fragile in its current condition. I think the original one might have the same issue, but... If I see this issue constantly popping up no matter what I do, then
there it goes again.
Then I might increase the cactus
like
HP level.
like a snake going through the grass, and then the face pops up.
Snake going through the grass? I mean, well, does it make the noise?
Like if you use maracas or something, the shaky noise.
Wait, do you
However, it looks like the red stuff.
Hold on. Now it makes sense. That would be the fire orb, except it's not behaving correctly.
Ah, that's the fire orb.
Maybe. But wait, doesn't it leave like trails as it moves? You don't see any kind of color thing moving upwards?
Nah, I don't see anything. It's all just the normal surrounding. But I see that the game actually changed.
Doesn't it make like a fire-like noise as you move? Because you know
like
the skulls and the chases.
Like you're shaking maracas or something.
That would be a slowed down fire version, I'm guessing. So that would be the fire orb. I'm not sure I would be going towards you on the ground, which doesn't make sense, but I never had that issue. Well, definitely means that the... well, hold on, let me check what comes after that to give it a chance. There's a fire orb, or there's a charger as well. Be careful about that, because that thing it quickly closes distance between you. Due to its high movement speed, it deals a massive 100 HP damage upon hitting. Its charging attack pattern is easy to follow, well, you can easily remember that, but you need to quickly think and act at the same time, and even a slight delay can mean sudden death. Of course, when it's charging, it cannot turn towards you, so you can just use that and dodge it. That sounds like a double music issue.
I see the light.
And everything went quiet for me.
It actually take... Oh! Huh! I managed to escape the chaser before he even caught up with me.
That's the far edge of the map. Stick with it. Just be sure that you see the giant, because then it gets a bit more problematic for you.
Yeah, I've never seen it. There's a giant... Is it like a random enemy, or is it spawn at a specific round? Like, is it round based, or is it just random?
The giant thing. Well, which enemy are you referring to?
The giant.
Firsthand. The giant is basically difficulty setting. The only difference is that it's a permanent enemy. It doesn't disappear. Never.
Never.
And the thing is, it has a different attack pattern compared to the other ones because if you stay there, it'll spin around you like a doofus. But as soon as you move, you die. That's
So
its
giant
trick.
stay still.
Well, don't stay still because
Don't stay still.
it still goes around you, but as soon as you move, it kills you. So don't even let it get too close to you. And considering it, you might want to stay on the move all the time because it has the speed boosting that I mentioned. Remember?
Yes.
So that's one thing you need to be careful about.
More ambience.
Yeah, the ambient sounds out there ever since the beginning of the game. There's also the
I
blind
have
sphere.
no clue what round I'm up to. Oh, here comes another. Oh, what is that? There's a
What?
green orb.
That's the fire orb, I'm guessing.
Ah, there's a fire orb. So,
Does it leap? It trails in the sky, see that?
oh, it disappeared.
Well, I'm guessing it has a time limit too. Won't
Yeah,
it
but
attack?
there's a chaser now. There's a chaser coming too.
The trick with the chaser is when it spawns, the skulls will stop coming for a bit.
There goes the music. So what about the sprint? Does the sprint run out at all?
What do you say?
The sprint, does it run out at all?
Well, technically I made the sprint infinite. To make it a bit easier, because otherwise it wouldn't be fair.
Basically,
There's a speed
just to give you a chance.
Oh yeah, and there's also the 200 HP health.
Of course, there's always a way you could integrate a difficulty setting where the sprint is not unlimited.
Well, technically there's a lot of different things I can put with the game. Like the difficulty thing in enemies, I can just rely them however I want them.
Chase is
And
gone
technically,
again.
well, one idea I'm gonna mention to you, and specifically you, is an enemy that basically becomes invisible when it moves. You don't know where it's gonna go. All you know is when it pops up, it stands still. But when it goes invisible, it's moving. So you be careful about that.
Which
That's
enemy is this one?
Which one?
Yeah.
You see a massive squeezed jaw thingy?
Squeezed what?
Jaw.
Jaw.
Like a big line thingy, kinda like a U. Well, try to give it a description.
See anything.
Try to give it a description, because I can't really tell.
There's no enemy at the moment.
Oh yeah, but you were asking about something. Or were you asking about what I was talking? About the invisible enemy?
Yeah, the invisible dude. Which one is that?
That was basically a planned enemy. It's not in the game yet. I was mentioning
there's
that
an influence zone.
Yep.
Red bubbles.
Well, yeah. Is it close to the tower?
I can see where the tower's portal is.
Yeah, but is it close or far?
Tower seems far-ish.
Then that's not the right one. Because you go there and there's not much inside. There's one influence zone close towards the tower that contains the speed.
Incoming heartbeat, possible chaser coming up.
If everything is wet, then you'll know why.
There it is.
Let me check the valuables for the damn thing, because I think something messed up on the script for that thing. Like,
It's
maybe
coming alright, like it's not constant.
Well, yeah, but I kind of get the feeling it's a bit too frequent, you know.
Too frequent.
But yeah.
Could be.
Well,
I actually haven't seen much other than the chaser. One glimpse of a green orb, a couple of flashes, and a skull.
Well, the green orbs come up every 40 seconds. So, yeah, you have a chance, because it was like 10 seconds each.
Look, I've picked up a health thing, now there's a white flash on the screen.
What'd you pick up?
I picked up a health boost.
And?
White flash.
That's not supposed to happen, unless I put something in there and didn't see it.
Yeah, it's like this one.
Well, where was that help?
Near
Faint.
about medium distance.
Wait, is that white flash thingy constant?
Yeah, it's constant.
That's because you went over the 100 HP limit. But technically you have like 200 HP, but I have it this way. 100 is maximum, minus 100 is the dead one, and if you go over 100, that's basically the maximum. You also hear a hobbit in the background.
Yeah, that's what's going on now.
That's the plus 100 effect. So you basically got your HP above the maximum. Be proud of that, because not many get that. Even I can't reach that much.
Oh, hissing! Oh god!
What the?
There's like this hiss coming right at me and then boom, flash. I guess that was a fire orb.
Maybe.
There's a skull over there.
Hey,
Like,
doing
it
pretty
sounded
good.
like it was right on me. Like this noise.
I'm gonna send you some of the sound files after this so I can actually like identify it. That was me talking with my
There's
parents.
another one. Oh god, that is creepy.
What is creepy?
Oh, that hissing noise.
Oh lord, that's just a simple slowing down fire noise. Maybe that's what you're hearing, I don't know.
What's the strategy for fire, dude, or is there just no way to escape it?
There's not really an easy way to escape it. You just gotta, the only weakness of the fire orb is luck. That's all you need to know. And of course it has
basically, if it hits you, you just gotta make sure you don't get hit by anything else.
well, it doesn't do damage. Let me check it in here if I have it.
But I mean, it'll drop you down a little bit.
Well, it'll drop you down a bit. That's something. I just don't. Well, why am I checking into the guide if I have the Unity script system open? Lord, I should check it.
Oh, there's another one.
The fire orb basically gives you 10 HP damage, so you're fine. The skulls give you even more, so
Yeah,
you don't worry about that.
I think I'm being hit by a chaser now.
Oh yeah, I know that noise. That high-pitched noise is a chaser. That's all you need to know. And there's also the lens flare thing. I can notice the pitch of the noise randomly fading. I guess he was just circling around it constantly.
No, it got away from me. Actually, didn't take too much damage from that one.
You see, you constantly have to come up with some kind of way to avoid it. Like if you go to the edge of the map, we won't be able to get to you. But you won't be able to stay in the same corner all the time because of the permanent enemies. And you might also see a white orb that will be slowly advancing to you with a smoke trail behind it.
I haven't seen one, yeah. That'd be the
You will
blind
eventually.
sphere.
Yeah, the blind sphere, not the orb. There's also the charger, but I don't think you saw that yet.
I ain't not seen that guy yet.
I'm guessing it's too far away, but it's best you adopt the best possible
There's
strategy.
another health. Let's see if it's... Oh, there's the flashing again.
Oh, that's the blue thingy.
I went to
That's
over.
that's basically the indication that your health went above. I actually changed that because the last time I did that, it was fading a bit too quickly and would make you blind for some strange reason, which shouldn't be happening, but now it doesn't happen.
Alright, so we'll get to the next thing. We haven't really touched on the power-ups, like we've seen the health one.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's the speed one. On the influence zone near the near the tower. But I don't recommend staying too close to it if you have too many enemies at once. But technically, can allow you to get away from the chases, that's one thing, or even the giant too. Anything generally. Just be careful because it can curse you. That's one thing.
So I
has, like,
think that
50%.
power-ups are always good.
If you saw the intro message, like the fourth one, where you know where the intro just
Oh,
come
I
up.
hate that thing.
What the?
The fire orb.
Yeah, like I said, it can really become sneaky because if it's hidden in the foliage, you won't see it unless it's like right in front of you. Even then, you can't determine where the hell it is because you see it, you just don't know where the hell it is. It could be
I
behind
don't
that.
see it, I just hear the noise.
That's the trick. I guess that thing may not be working as expected, but I haven't seen issues with Firewall yet. There's also the charger, but I don't think you can see that.
that
on the left.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, the chasers, I might need to reduce those things.
Haha, got away from it.
I'm also gonna add the debug cheat for the next part.
Really?
For the next update. Well, I know, since it's a free early access version, I'm pretty much free to add any cheat I want. I'm just not gonna add any cheats for like the speed boost or the invulnerability because those are pretty fragile at the moment.
Damn, I've been going for quite a while actually.
That's a good start, but don't think about that for too long. Well, yeah, the game itself is not that difficult in the first stages.
Yeah,
So,
I don't want it to go too long, like recording.
basically once you start seeing the giant, then you know things are bad. Unless I messed something up in the script and didn't see that, but it should be.
What is the shaking?
What's shaking?
The whole screen is shaking.
Whole screen shake? Oh, I think that's the influence zone. Careful about that.
Oh, okay.
But it did like twirl a bit towards the side. And then do you see like a fading like on the corners of the screen?
Just sort of shaking.
But did you also hear like a boom 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 noise as it did that? You should try that again.
I just draw the attention to the shaking.
I'm guessing you were inside of not fire orb, influence zone. Because it does that. Did you see the red bubbles anywhere near you?
No, I was too
Hold on, cause I'm guessing an enemy went into an influence zone and that caused the shaking. That's one thing you have to avoid at all costs. Because that thing can bug up at random
There's a
points.
green orb over there.
Whoops. Careful about that.
The green orb in the sky.
But okay, so well.
So that's the fire dude, isn't it?
What fire dude? The
Fire
green orb? Yeah, that would be it.
I can see it coming for me.
No, from the tower, but once it goes into the tree.
I knew it was that. Yeah, the fire orb was making that hissing noise.
Yeah, of course it was. Why does it sound like a snake? I have a snake.
It's just, I don't know, it's just what I thought of it.
Oh, it's a slowing down
Like
fire
someone
noise.
was shaking something that had like rice.
Well, basically the fire noise itself is already on crumbling paper and slowing down the noise and modified it. According to the script, there's a fire spawner. Wait, hold on. Oh, don't tell me. I think I forgot something. Hold on, I'm just checking to the script right now because I think I. Okay, no wonder there's nothing happening. I don't think I added the charger into the game, even though it's in the files. Lol. The giant is supposed to be there because I just seen the script it activates like 90 seconds after the fire spawner is there, so you should hear that, maybe. I mean, mean, it's working for me. Last time I did it was working.
So there's no charger in it at the moment.
Apparently not, because I do have the chaser, there's an effect, there's a fire spawner, and after that there's a giant, but no charger apparently. I heard that, and it's even in the script there, so it's pretty weird how I forgot that. But yeah, basically we're just fooling around and stuff, but I'm pretty sure there's some new stuff that maybe you didn't ask about yet. Like some questions and stuff.
I may have forgotten.
Well, I did say about the side objectives, that is.
Oh yeah. Any ideas on what they're gonna include?
Well, basically I already have one planned mission, and that might be in the public beta, but I can't promise anything just yet. One includes retrieving a fuel can and taking it to one of the generators on the map. Well, there's only one, of course. The fuel can only spawns after a certain difficulty level, and then just constantly respawns after that. Once you take it to the generator, the fuel can will respawn somewhere else on the map, dependent on which position it happens to respawn in. That's really new. And it also spawns the random power-up, which can have up to 12 different effects, positive and negative. So you never know, it can give you a massive health, like well over 500 HP bonus, or it could instantly kill you. You never know. So technically you can have this random power-up as a massive boost for you. Like it could give you a 5-second on holy speed boost that could let you like charge around the map, like really fast. That's basically one of the ways to do it. There's other side objectives I might do, but generally I have none, and there's no irrelevant missions yet, so that's one thing. And you're taking quite some damage, apparently. Oh, and if you want to know how to identify a random power-up, or it's also called as the unknown one, basically if you get into its range, it will like spout a question mark that is composed of lens flares, then you know that's a random power, but you have to be a little bit close to that. And you still don't see a giant? Like nothing in it?
No, not that I see. Yeah, fire up.
Well, where are you?
Away from that one.
Well, where the hell are you in that spot to start off
I
with?
dodged that one.
Well, yeah, I know you dodged that, but where exactly are you in the map?
Oh, what the hell is that?
What the?
Oh, I saw the giant.
Uh-oh, whoops, I guess that was supposed to happen eventually. I guess you spawned off in the wrong corner of the map.
That thing looked like a giant slender.
It's not a wandering spawns, because apparently I set the Y to 1,000.
What?
Whoops, I didn't see that. Apparently when I was redoing the giant, I forgot to reset its positions, so it started off about 1,000 meters up in the sky instead of 3.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. No wonder it didn't work.
It took forever.
But apparently, yeah, that's the wrong part. But it has the speed boost. So when you see the giant starting like running to you, then you know it's a speed boost for that thing. And it changes. The noise itself also changes. Like you hear the constant noise it normally makes. I'm guessing.
I just saw a giant Slenderman looking thing running at me and dead.
That's a That's a constructor model from Lunacy. You know, I basically use that because if I use anything else, I might have to buy the thingy, and I don't want that because I don't have any money to buy it with.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, I died, so...
Well, okay, that was pretty quick. Did that thing catch you or something?
Yeah, he got up to me.
You know, that's the wrong side, because when you get into a speed boost, you don't have many chances, and trying to juke it, like, dodge it, is impossible. Because turning speed is insane. So, yep. The strategies get more and more difficult, you know. Like I mentioned, one of the invisible enemies, which are planned. And there's also another one would be like an aerial enemy. Like it will be flying up in the sky at random parts. It will also shoot these weird projectiles at you. But yeah, it's all in planning, so I'm not gonna talk too much about them. So yeah, now that you died, before you stop this thing, there might still be some stuff you could ask about, like the other enemies, the power-ups in general. Well, power-ups, there's nothing else really. Or maybe something else about, well, maybe what else could be in the game.
Possible other plans.
Well, possible other plans, I don't have that many. There's the invulnerability power-up, which indeed is still in the making, I just didn't include it. Well, the blind sphere, I might modify that thing to actually make it a lot less visible.
Never saw that one, actually.
Well, basically, if you're too far away from the tower, it just goes into a re-teleport system and just respawns back at its original place. But considering you're a little bit too far away from the tower, you might constantly respawn and you never see it that way.
Hmm. So that dude,
But,
he just blinds your
The
vision.
influence zones, or maybe the zones.
Oh yeah, so as you can see, there's as you saw, and I should say, there's the bubbles. That's your influence zones, but there is another one. Mind explaining it?
Well, the other one is not really in the game yet, but
Not
it's gonna
yet.
be in the next update. It's a paranormal zone. Well, you saw the influence zone. It's a patch of territory that's afflicted by the paranormality. A paranormal zone would basically be a severe affection about that. Like, let's say there's a patch of territory that is severely afflicted by that paranormality of the place that you triggered. These ones are pretty big, and I mean pretty big, and they constantly drain your health, and very quickly too. Like, I've estimated that if you stay inside them with max health, well, 100 HP, you stay inside one of them, let's say about 42 seconds is all you need to die in one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, you don't want enemies near that thing, because if it bugs up, it's gonna kill you, which is not good. But the good part about these paranormal zones is that they contain powerful items. Let's say the invulnerability, because that's gonna be in there. And before you ask, no. The random power-up only spawns when you do that certain mission, so you won't find it just sitting there in the middle of nowhere.
No, it's not just gonna be like.
It's not gonna be that easy for you, and the invulnerability is gonna have a massive respawn timer, so you pick it up, you might need to wait at least 4 minutes until it comes back up again, so you use it while you can. But the good thing is it lasts 60 seconds. So basically your health is gonna get locked in a certain number, but anything you do will not really damage you, except for the giant, which may be able to kill you. I haven't tested that yet. But I'm pretty sure it would kill you right away, considering the damage it's capable of dealing right away.
Boom.
And yeah, there's also the influence zones that I really haven't talked much, but yeah. Those things drain your health slowly while you're inside them, but usually the enemies can also divert its effect to you, which might have been the screen shake. There's a picture of what the influence zone might do to you, like there's a slight blur that encroaches the screen, and there's the red bubbles as well. Maybe you didn't see the blackish blur that encroached the screen, because it maybe was... It's not easy to notice unless you look towards the screen's edges. And it's not the vignette that you normally see there, that's barely even there. And there's also the screen kind of like twirls, it's kind of like a vortex thingy, and makes a noise when it's twirled, so that's your only indication as well. But considering the environmental stuff that's happening, you might not even notice it. And these usually contain weaker items, like the speed boost, for example. It's not that useful to you. Well, it can help you, but considering its effects, it can curse you. So,
Yep,
well, the
yep.
invulnerability and the health boost are one of the things that don't curse you in any way, because, heck, not everything has to be bad. So, you got that part right there.
Whew. Damn. We're hitting about 51 minutes into this, so...
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a nice promotional video anyway. For now, at least. And also, health items give you 25 HP in total.
So...
Well, when you basically find one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you think we've... Anything else you want to add about the game?
Well, basically, I'm just waiting for you to add something, because, you know, the enemies... Well, you did see them, but maybe you'd like to know some more about them. Maybe you can do that off screen, maybe now. You choose, because I got time. For now, at least.
Possible, but we're getting a bit over time.
Well, if it is over time, then I guess we can just cut it off. And remember, people, if you have any questions about the game, just be sure to message me about that, because I will answer pretty much any question about Surv.
Like
Seeing
I
now,
said, this interview was just sort of a basic overview of things that would be commonly asked. So call it a FAQ, frequently asked questions type thing.
Take this with a grain of salt, because this is still in pretty early working. It normally wouldn't even exist, but considering Free Hunter's constant support over the times I met up with him, I thought I would try to pay him back, because, you know, well, you don't know exactly, but he got me Nether and Gmod, which is something pretty big. And you really find people like that, like him, in this world. And seeing that, I decided to help him out. And I'm basically trying to give him something like this, because he played Lunacy, that's how we met up, of course. And ever since then, we've been going pretty well, but the thing is, we'll still need to catch up on our Amnesia layout, but we're going to talk about that later. That's a different take. But
we'll
yeah.
get to that.
Okay, so, well, we'll eventually get there. Like I mentioned in the vlog, the original Amnesia layout is coming back, but I still need to figure out
could do a possible dual vlog. for both of us, and we'll have like something going.
Cool. No, I never did. I never thought about that, but that's a cool idea.
You know, just explain stuff more like on the collab
Whoops.
side of things.
I just noticed I didn't eat the burger that was here for a while.
Might possibly do that for next Sunday's vlog.
Well, I might be around there. Well, it depends on when you wake up. Well, if I do the shower on Saturday, then I won't have any troubles. But yeah, it normally depends because Saturdays or Sundays are generally days where something happens. I just end up being busy because you know Sunday is the general homework day. Saturday is no longer busy for me because there was the Olympics thing. I was supposed to be home much earlier, like 1 p.m. is when I was supposed to be back home, but I was stuck until 6 p.m. because the bus didn't go as early as expected, so I just sat around the town doing nothing. But yeah, that's that. And by the way, we're getting overtime, so if you need anything else, we can do it now or close this off.
Alrighty.
Yes, I'm not sure you're gonna do with the uploads, but yeah, let's talk about that on off screen.
Well, that was a fun little experience there. If you do have any further questions, like you said before, just feel free to contact him in any way.
If this goes well, Free Hunter might include like an email or my YouTube channel. You can basically message me even on Twitter or anywhere else you want to. Just make sure the message gets to me, and even if it takes days, I will answer. I'm not always here because I have school and stuff at the moment, but yeah, I'm generally here as always. I keep Twitter on my watch list for quite some time, so it's like 12/7 I mean. So kind of like, you know, instead of 24/7, I'm at least 12/7.
12/7.
Oh yeah, that's anyway, but yeah. You do the.
I'll put a link. Not a link. I'll put some contact details in the description below. You can check it out, ask the questions, or if you have any feedback for him, just based on his. And yeah. So anyway, this has been the little interview, frequently asked questions about Surv. As we said before, 1.0 release date for the public beta.
0.1. Don't mix it up. 0.1.
0.1.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the 7 memories, but
isn't it it's 0.8 at the moment though.
Yeah, that's for the public. I mean the pre-early version. When it goes into public beta, when it goes into public, it would be like pre-early 1, which means public 0.1. It's a bit confusing, but it's the best way I can do this.
That's what I did. I'll just call it 1. I'll call it 1.0.
Well,
but it's not the official version. Like, it's way off completion, but it'll get there if we get the chance and time. So anyway, may as well cut this off since we're getting a little bit over time. If you did make it this far into the video without getting bored, I have to thank you for watching, and thank Robert for giving up some time to explain the game to you guys.
Hey, no problem. I'm always willing to support you, considering what we've done in the past.
And so, gonna get to some collabs hopefully, and we'll.
And one thing I want to mention is, if you're gonna go ahead and ask me if you can get the pre-early access version, you might not get one. I'm only giving the pre-early access version to people who have supported me for quite some time and done great things to help me, such as KMO, if some of you know, and Phil right here.
Yep.
So, well,
actually,
by the way, GameJolt is where you want to look at, because my profile gets updated soon after this video gets up, because I'm gonna make the page. And once once this video goes up for you guys, then I'll make the page, and then you can just track it. Okay, so you might want to close this off, Lily, because it's starting to get a bit long.
Alright.
You might have to edit some parts out of this entire thing.
Since we're running out of time, you can just ask Robert for any ETA, but there's no real ETA at the moment. But anyway,
I can't say any ETAs at the moment, but I'm expecting at least 1.5 months at this stage, because I got a custom story I'm working on as well at the same time. So yeah, but we'll see. Surv is higher priority anyway.
Alrighty guys, once again, hope you enjoyed. Link in the description for Robert and Noobs' channel as always.
Yeah, the two best friends.
Yeah. Peace.
Goodbye, y'all.
What's up guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and comment if you have suggestions for further videos that I could record. If you check in the description below, you'll see links to Robert and Noobs' channel, They are both great YouTubers, good friends of mine, and will appreciate the subscriptions. Thank you for watching. Check the video on the top left and bottom right corners of the screen for more great content. Enjoy your fears, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.